it didn't take long for me to catch the itch. And I can't say I play in as many leagues as Nano does, but it didn't take long for me just to be like, nope, I want to keep doing this. This is great. So trying to like look up African American hockey players and like the history of African Americans in hockey, it was just like, well, what number can I be? That way it's actually kind of significant. It's allowed me to come more out of like my shell and kind of like get, deeper into who I actually am as a person. So at least with APLHA, because again, we're very, very welcoming to everybody.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Pride and Puck podcast. I am your host, Andrew McDougall. A lot of people know me as Doogie. This is episode 28. We are getting closer and closer to episode 30. It's wild. I say this every single month. I can't believe we're getting to episode 30, but it is awesome. And I've got another awesome guest on today as well. You can find us at Pride Puck Podcast on the socials, Facebook, Instagram, and Threads. We are on X at Pride Puck Pod, but I don't really use X all that much anymore for the podcast side of things, which is for reasons which a lot of people probably understand. But yes, this is episode 28, and our next guest, we're heading back over to the US, and I'm excited to talk to our next guest today because they have I suppose, what's the word? Maybe a big reputation to uphold from one of my previous guests who said this guest is going to be awesome. I'll bring them in right now. We're heading back across towards the area of Arizona. Mel Jones, welcome to the Pride and Puck podcast.
Oh, thanks for having me.
When I had Johnny on, Johnny Valentine, Johnny said, you've got one of my friends coming on, and I had to think about it. And then I went back through the list and I said, oh, yes, Mel. And Johnny said, you're going to have a blast. So you've got a high level to get to here.
No, that's totally fair. I will try and do my best to live up to the things that Johnny thinks I am. So we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, exactly. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and I'm sitting here right now where I live in Melbourne, Australia, and it's cold, it's raining, it's freezing because it's obviously winter here. But I was listening to a hockey podcast the other day, and they were talking to Mike Commodore, who is in Arizona, and they mentioned that it's 100. It was 100 Fahrenheit, which is about 40 degrees here. Are you keeping cool? Because that is outrageous.
Okay, so this is going to sound really terrible, but my body legitimately runs warm, so I don't notice. It's like 106 today. So I was like, oh, it's 106. It's no big deal. You don't notice until it's like 118. Now it's hot. It's fine. But most of the time, this is why I play hockey. It has to be 50 degrees in that rink at all times. So I don't understand why people in Arizona don't play hockey, because it's got to be cold in there all the time. But and I'm also apparently one of those crazy people that legitimately keeps their AC at, I think it's like at 78 right now. Yeah. But I know some people that'll drop it down to like 68, and I'm like, no, I don't need to see a little polar bear like skating in my house. I'm good. I'm fine.
Yeah, that would be me. Because we do get some hot summers here in Australia, and I walk outside and I touch something and it burns you, and I'm just like, no thanks.
No, I think, because we came and visited for the World Pride Classic, and that was in February. So we got off the plane. I'm like, oh, well, this weather's nice. And it rained like 3 hours later. It's like, oh, so it's just like being home. Okay, fine. It's just monsoon season.
Oh, yeah, so you've got a friend that plays at Southern Lights. Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that's where I started playing this season, Southern Lights.
Aww.
So yeah, I don't know what division they're in, but I'm in Division 10 at Southern Lights, which is really cool.
She's a little bit lower, and I think she took the season off. So
okay.
Hopefully when I get back, she'll be back in it, so we can all play together. It'll be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about you. Growing up, was hockey anything on your radar at all? Was it a sport that you knew about? Was it a sport that you wanted to play, or was hockey not even on your agenda?
So, okay, Originally, I just started roller skating first. So my cousins actually were the ones that taught me how to roller skate. And then in about, I think it's 1997, we actually got a hockey team in Arizona, the Phoenix Coyotes. So my dad took me to games, and I was like, "Oh my god, this sport's amazing! Can I actually play it?" And he was like, "We don't have a rink here, sweetie. You can't go play hockey." And I was like, "Oh, well, okay then." And then maybe a couple years later, they literally built a rink like 10 minutes from my house, and my dad's like, "Oh, well, you still can't play. It's expensive." And I'm like, "Okay, that's fair." But he still would take me to go ice skating and whatnot. But other than that, he was just like, "No, hockey's way too expensive. Here, you go play softball or basketball and it'll be fine." I'm like, okay. That's fair trade. Because they didn't have my high school did not have a hockey team like when I was going to high school. They do now, and they won something a couple of years ago. So they're actually doing pretty good for being hockey in the desert. But
Yeah. So you're born and raised Arizona?
oh yeah, born, raised. There are very, very few of us that are actual like Arizona natives that stay here. We're a big transplant state.
Yeah. Okay. So but you would have seen the evolution, I suppose, of hockey over there in the
Oh,
area.
it's great. Because now we have rinks that are in Peoria, Tempe, Mesa, Scottsdale, Chandler, Phoenix. We have like 6 rinks. Each rink either has like 1 sheet of ice or 2. Our Scottsdale rink's got 3. We've got all. Oh, and there's one down in Tucson. So we actually have plenty of rinks to go and play at, and the game is growing because we have who just came down here. The Vegas Golden Knights just did like a development camp down here. So we do have people that are, coming in to play hockey in the desert. Our girls team, the Kachinas, they went up and they played in some tournament and they did really, really well. Again, for a group of girls that are from the desert where hockey clearly doesn't need to be played. But they do great. And our development teams that we have down here and all the leagues, they're absolutely amazing. They teach us all how to play hockey. We go from, stumbling baby deer to, oh, I actually kind of know what I'm doing and I look graceful. Do we still fall? Yes, but it's hockey. You fall all the time and just got to make it look cool.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. As long as you look cool, it's all good. Do you think, like with hockey, the scene there, do you think that for it to continue to grow, do you think they need the Coyotes back there?
Oh, it'd be so amazing if we could get another hockey team back here. It'd just be great. I'd love it. If we could either get an NHL affiliate or like a PWHL, that would make me so happy. We've actually had, what was it, the women's US and Canada game. They had their rivalry series here. That was great. ASU men's, they do amazing. So yeah, it'd be great just to have another team here. I know that the county that I live in, Maricopa, they were talking about trying to get a hockey team back here, but I'm not 100% sure how that talk is going. But to grow the game some more. Yes, it'd be so nice if we could get another team back here.
I would love to see a PWHL team there. It'd be awesome. How old were you? And do you remember the first time that you picked up a stick or put on a pair of skates?
Well, if we're going to the roller skates, about 4 years old. Ice skates, maybe about 10. And then to actually start playing hockey with Alf. Well, it's technically with the Growlers program that they started. That was 5 years ago. So I was 31.
Yep. Did you
So
instantly fall in love?
late.
Yeah, there's a lot of people like that. Don't worry. I'm 41 and I started this year first time. So there you go. Did you instantly fall in love with playing hockey on ice?
Yeah, it didn't take long for me to catch the itch. And I can't say I play in as many leagues as Nano does, but it didn't take long for me just to be like, nope, I want to keep doing this. This is great. When can I get ice? Where can I get ice? What do I need to keep playing? And what do I need to do to get better at this? Because this is so much fun. And plus, you just get to meet a whole bunch of interesting people that just play hockey. And because one of my goalie from last season on a league I play in at Tempe, she's going to be getting married. So they did their wedding. They went to their wedding. It was a wedding party. And the amount of people that we both knew together is absolutely insane. Like, I knew half of her guests just because we all play hockey together. So it was just insane to be like, oh yeah, I know you. I played with you. I know you like in passing. Wow. Okay. Like, you don't realize how small like the adult hockey world is, and you get us all in a room, and you're just like, oh, well, my goodness.
But yeah, it's funny you say that, because since starting this podcast, just within, like, I suppose the inclusive queer hockey space, it's amazing how many people know each other. So like, just like guests that I've had on, they will know people from other episodes now, and they all connect. And then I see them on social media, and then a good friend of mine, he's gone over to the Seattle Pride Classic, and now they know those people. So everyone's like connected with. It's so, yeah, I totally get you when you talk about people are connected and how small the world it is.
Yeah. What was your friend's name? Because there was a lot when I went to that tournament. That's why I was like, wait, did I bump into an accident? Oh.
The one just gone was Cade. Cade was over there. Cade Matthews was over there. Cade had been a previous guest on here, and yeah, I'd known Cade for a long time. So it's just, yeah, it's funny how it's all all interconnected.
Oh, now I'm kind of curious what team he played on, because if we played him, that'd be just so funny.
Oh. I'm not 100% sure. I do know that I had Vanessa Vargas on here, another guest, and they were on the same team. So I'm not sure if you're on the same team or not. I'm not sure.
No, I did play against them. They were my last game.
There you go.
What are you talking about?
Well, there you go. Yeah. So everyone's all connected. It's one big inclusive family.
Oh, didn't expect that to happen. But okay. No, that last game was probably the most fun I got to have at that tournament. The entire tournament itself was absolutely amazing, but like that game was absolutely choice.
And you're just talking about like how close a community the adult hockey world is, and how you know this person. The adult hockey world has literally taken you across the world as well.
Yeah, I got to go to Sydney. I've been to Seattle. I've been to Wisconsin. I got to go to Vegas. I've gotten to go to San Jose and play on actual, like, the San Jose Sharks ice, which was an amazing experience as well. So I am slowly ticking places off of the list. It is great. And it was one of those things where you don't really think you'd get to travel to go and play hockey. And you're just like, oh, how does one travel and play hockey? Like, you have to take your skates and everything. It wasn't as big of a nightmare as everybody thinks it is. It was super easy. Like, you just bagged up the skates, threw them on the plane. And I actually think my sticks got to Australia before I did, because they were all walked off to the side. And I was just like, wait, how did you get here before me? I need you. So yeah, it was so much. Like, and then coming back, we did a layover in Hawaii, and of course the Hawaiian guys are just like, where'd you come? Where is their ice that you were playing hockey? We're like, oh, Australia. And just the look of pure confusion, because they're just like, wait, in Australia there's rinks, and we're like, and you're going to Phoenix where there's a desert, and there's hockey there. Yes. Roller? No, ice hockey. Oh, good luck with that. And we're like,
yeah, make it make sense. Make it make sense.
Oh, it needed to be. It's just, you just need cold. You just need cold, and it's fine.
That's right. That's right.
These poor Hawaiian guys.
Did you have a highlight from your trip to Sydney? Just while we're on the topic.
Oh, I mean, the entire experience. Does that count? Like, yeah. It was super interesting getting to play in the rink, because we were at Macquarie Park, and the fact that the rink is inside of a mall like blew my mind. I knew that in Phoenix we had a ice skating rink in one of our malls, so to actually see one in person, it was just like, oh, this is what this looks like. Why did we get rid of this? And that was just super cool. And just the entire experience in general was great. And like meeting my two friends, Ivan and Zoe, like we literally walked in to get signed in, and like me and my friend Kyla knew like nobody there, and just how friendly and welcoming everybody was. It was great. Like even stepping off the plane, because it was World Pride, rainbows everywhere, and just how welcoming like everybody was to like the LGBTQ community, and the fact that it was just so nice. Oh, I want to go back.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm hoping to get up there because they have their annual Pride tournament for Mardi Gras every year. So I'm hoping to travel up from Melbourne to Sydney next year and play in that tournament. And the thing is, if you ever return to Sydney and go to that rink, it'll look totally different because it's getting a big renovation right now. So it's going to have full glass all around the rink and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's in the process of getting renovated right now. So it's going to look totally different if you're ever back there in Sydney.
Oh, that's the goal is to go back, because I had way too much fun. So
yeah, and if you're back too, it'd be cool that we could actually meet in person, which would be even better. Growing up and playing sport, was it easy for you to walk into a locker room or a dressing room or go and play sport, or did you feel like that you couldn't play support or you couldn't be yourself in any sport, I suppose you played, but specifically ice hockey?
Like when I was younger, I didn't really even notice it, and now I still don't even notice it. Like I was talking to one of my friends, and I'm like, it is so weird, the weird things that you pick up in hockey. Like you just walk into a locker room and everybody's like half naked. You're like, oh, yeah. Okay. And it's just fine. Everybody's completely comfortable with it. Whereas you walk into other settings and people are just like, oh my God, I must cover. And I'm like, why? We're getting ready to go play with people. We're going to sweat. Why are you being weird about this? So, I mean, that's a long-winded way of answering that question, but I'm just like, no, I'm the same in the locker room. It's just, I'm with my buddies. We're all just like walking in there and you're just like, yep, we're getting ready to go play sport. We're going to sweat. It's going to be stinky. We're cool.
It's true. It is true. It is true. The other thing I also wanted to touch on with you as well, because I know like specifically in hockey, and you might not even feel like this, but do you feel like sort of like a trailblazer in a way? Because in hockey, the black representation within hockey has been very, very low. Is that something that you ever think about in terms of hockey and being like? Because when I look at you, like I honestly think that you are a trailblazer, because for so long it's just been like that. It's never been sort of like a place where there is like a lot of, I suppose, representation.
I mean, I did. Okay. Yes, because originally I was there was only two of us in APLHA originally. And then the one gentleman, he left. So then it was just me. And then I've gotten super lucky. Now we have two more people. So now it's like, oh, hey, look, somebody else who looks like me. And then when I was trying to pick, like when I don't play with APLHA, I try and wear like different hockey, like different numbers. So trying to like look up African-American hockey players and like the history of African-Americans in hockey, it was just like, well, what number can I be? That way it's actually kind of significant. And it didn't take long to find out that there's like this really nice, long actual history of African-Americans who have been playing hockey. And then not only that, but there are like a variety of hockey clubs that are just for Black people, because there's the Black girls hockey group that's like up in Chicago and the amazing work that they're doing. And I think I just saw that they have like a Canada affiliate, and their Instagram is like been very active, at least for me, because I think I liked them like a couple of weeks ago. So I just keep getting all of their videos and like all of their scholarship opportunities. I'm like, this is amazing. Where was this when I was growing up? And then I'm like, all right, because most people think that Black people don't play hockey. So it wasn't a thing. And then just like going into like different rinks, actually seeing like a whole Black family. It's still very new to me. Like there's a young man, he plays for one of our teams that's based in Phoenix, and his whole family was there. And I was just like, oh, other Black people. This is great. It makes me happy all the time when I see people. I'm like, oh. But it's so nice to not feel like, not necessarily like alone, but to look up and be in a sport where it's like, oh, traditionally everybody's like way paler than you, and you see somebody who looks like you're just like, oh, I can talk to somebody. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's powerful as well. It really is. Like and it can really create change. And no doubt that just you playing hockey, you're someone who's creating change for someone else who might be on the outside looking in and wanting to play hockey and not feel like that they can. Have you thought about getting involved with those clubs in Chicago that you just mentioned?
I mean, if I lived in Chicago, I totally would, but
you travel a lot, so jump on that plane.
Go on the plane, go on planes. Yeah, you know what? Why not? My best friend lives up in Chicago, and she would probably be like, "No, come up and visit, and we'll go do hockey." And I'm like, "All right." So no, I would absolutely love the opportunity to get up there and play with them. That'd be just amazing to get up there and watch, and just to kind of see like how they do different things, like how they do their recruitment. Because trying to talk parents into being like, hey, would you like to drop $1,000 on this sport that your child's gonna, grow out of in literally less than a month? To try to just convince people to do that is kind of insane when you say it. So
yeah. Yeah, I think that's cool though, and I think hopefully, like with the like you look at the NHL, there's just I feel like there's not, and it sort of hasn't been across the time a lot of representation for different communities. So we need more of it, more representation.
Yeah. Well, I will say this: the year that the Coyotes got Anthony Duclair, I was so excited. I remember sitting in a game with my mom, and I was like, if the Coyotes ever got a black player, that is the only time and the only reason I will ever get a jersey. Very next season, we got him, and I was just like, well, you'll excuse me, and I went and bought a jersey that night, and I still have
it. You have to.
Even though
you
he's
have
been
to.
traded away from the team, I was like, nope, keep my word, went and got it. But the thing was, they literally didn't have any of his jerseys, so I had to custom make it. And they're like, oh, would you like a different number? I'm like, no, this is going to be his jersey. Give me his number. Thank you.
Yes. So. Yeah, that's cool. That's awesome. Did anyone else in your family play hockey? Or did you find out like after you started playing that, oh, hang on, I might have had like a cousin or an uncle or something play or an auntie play? Like, did you find out, was anyone else in your family playing hockey?
My dad has a working experience of hockey because he grew up in New York. But other than that, nope, not a lot of people in my family play hockey.
And you haven't inspired anyone else in your family to put on some skates?
See, the funniest thing is you mentioned that is my uncle. I don't think that man's missed a single one of my games on a Thursday night. He's a runner, so he's very much just like, no, I can't, wound myself before a race. So he's like, I won't play hockey. But one of my older cousins, she's like, hey, you just get me some skates and I'm coming. So I'm slowly trying, and it sounds like she'd be my god sister's daughter. Her mom, they came and watched me play like one night, and she was like, oh, this is interesting, like, this is amazing. So she took her to, I think, the Little Layton's like intro to hockey thing, and she had an absolute blast. So she's just like, well, let me know when the season starts and I'll try taking her some more. So I might have gotten one. That's all I need. I just need one.
That's right. That's all you need. This is your 5th season playing hockey.
Yes, sir.
What's it like? Because it sort of it blew my mind a bit, and I was just like, this is just not fair. That was sort of like the other thing that popped into my head. So I'm like, you're 5th year playing hockey, and you get to play at Mullet Arena. like it just doesn't seem fair to me.
Is it just because the ice is amazing, and I swear they like sprinkle glitter on that ice because it's just so sparkly down there? It is amazing. I love playing on that ice. It is, because I mean, we usually play on it when there's like nobody inside. So just like get in the rink and you look up, you're like, this place is huge, and I get to play on this. It's great.
You look into the stands, and your one uncle sitting there by himself while you're playing
every time with his jersey on, like almost front and center, just having himself a good old time. It really does make me feel good to see either him or my parents or like any of my friends that I've invited to just be sitting in the stands, just watching. And then like once the game is done, they just come down. They're like, that was amazing to watch. And they're like, what was going on here? Why were they blowing the whistle? Why don't you guys hit each other like in the NHL? We're like, because we're not, it's hockey, it's a physical sport. We're like, we're not really supposed to check people. We have work in the morning. We like most of our teammates.
Yeah.
It's a totally different experience. Just like looking up and being like, oh, they're here for me. They're here for me. I love them. And then like the league that I play in on Thursday nights, we're all like pretty close. So like some of them will stay and watch our games and cheer. And it's super nice. It makes me feel nice. It's one of the highlights of my week.
Yeah, it's cool. I work with people and some friends of mine, they ask me about, you play hockey, and then they're like, so it's pretty physical, and I'm trying to explain to them that you can't check like you see on the TV type of thing. They just sort of don't get, they don't sort of get it.
And then you have to explain that accidents happen.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. How did you find APLHA, or how did it all come about for you to be involved with APLHA? Which is the Arizona Legacy Pride Hockey Association, just so people.
Yes. This is going to sound so terrible, but because I got started during the pandemic, so I was talking about hockey around my phone, and maybe a day later, I got an advertisement for, would you like to play LGBTQ hockey? The Coyotes have a program just for you. And I was like, well, obviously I want to play hockey. Please, yes, sign me up. So it was called the Pride Growlers program, and it was either 10 or 12 sessions on ice with a coach. We got a bag, we got sticks, we got all of our gear. The only thing I had to go and buy was skates and a helmet, and that was it. And then we showed up to the rink in Mesa one day, and there were all of the like some of the Coyote staff were there. They had our bags, they had our names on there, and they were like, here's your bag. And me and a couple other people who I still play with today, we all walked into these locker rooms, absolutely no idea what we're doing, and we're all sitting there like looking at our gear, looking at each other like, does anybody know how to put any of this stuff on? We're all like, no, nope. And then I kid you not, in skips this tall little skinny guy, and he's just like, I'm Matt, and I'm here to talk to you guys about APLHA. And we're like, the devil's an alpha. What? And he's like, yeah, it's our LGBTQ hockey league. And we're like, okay. He's like, you guys want to play? Like, we just barely got skates. What do you mean play? And then that was pretty much the end of that. And then Matt actually did hang around and got like 80% of us dressed. Like he literally showed us, hey, this is how, like, you put on your knees, then you put on all your socks, and how to actually get dressed for hockey. So he stayed in there to get us all dressed. And yeah, that was like really the first time I ever met Matt, was him skipping in there and being like, hey, who wants to play some hockey? So great.
That's awesome. That's amazing. It's funny because like it's something that I hadn't actually thought of, like to show people how to get ready to play hockey. Like it's like, because I was a fan, like I've been a fan for so long and I've only just started playing. So I sort of knew how to get ready to play hockey, sort of thing, just being around it. But for someone that's fresh, I never actually thought that is a thing, that you might not actually know how to put the gear on.
It's like, I know legs go on this leg, elbows go on this leg, but what are these long black things that look like socks? These go over the legs? Oh, okay. You got to put the skates on, and you put this chest thing on. These pants, you pull the pants on. Do I put the pants on before or after the skates? These skates are kind of sharp. I don't want to cut my pants. Oh dear. And then I got to make sure everything's laced up.
How has APLHA helped or influenced your hockey journey, especially starting later in life?
Oh, so much. I've made so many just friends. No, I can't even say they're friends anymore. They're more like family at this point. It's influenced me just to kind of be way more open-minded, because again, we're out there playing one of the more difficult sports, literally with weapons on our feet in the cold and we're going upwards of like 15 miles an hour and almost colliding with each other on like a daily basis. We're weird. So it just allowed me to become more like in touch with that other personality side, because most of the time when, you know, I'm at work, I'm walking around, I'm like masking heavily, being like, oh no, I'm totally normal. Don't worry about me. I don't like to watch anime. I don't like to play video games. And then I go to hockey and I'm like, nah, hey man, which anime are you watching? What video games are you playing? Let's talk. Let's actually go and play some things after we're done with hockey. So it's just it's allowed me to come more out of like my shell and kind of like get, you know, deeper into who I actually am as a person. So at least with Alpha, because again, we're very, very welcoming to everybody. So when again you get somebody who's like, I've never skated before, and you're just like, oh yeah, it's easy. And then when you think about it, you're like, actually, wait, no, I'm asking you to get on a slippery surface and then just kind of shove you and let physics do the rest. So it's just one of those like magical experiences where you're just like, this magical sport that I can actually use to influence and change minds. It's so nice.
Yeah, absolutely. That's amazing. And I was obviously like with Alpha and even where I play at Southern Lights, we're actually having a discussion in our Southern Lights group chat for the team yesterday, just about playing for fun or playing to win, and like that balance. And Southern Lights, and I'm guessing Alpha is probably a lot the same. You might be able to relate where it's unique in the sense that where it's not just about playing, it's about LGBTIQ plus people or people who don't never felt safe playing sport want to be in that environment. So like winning is great, but it's about getting people involved and having fun. Like I'm guessing you'd probably feel that too at Alpha.
Yeah, I mean, this comes directly from like Shoresy, the show, the Canadian one. It's hockey players give back. We're all about being a community. So literally getting people and like bringing them into this and actually making them feel welcome is definitely something that Alpha does very, very well. And like I've brought in people from like my Thursday league because it's a little bit faster, and they it is supposed to, it's marketed as a beginner league, but then you do have people who like advance quicker than others, and then their other teammates kind of get left behind. But like at Alpha, you can literally come and we're like, okay, hey, like what skill level are you at? And then like we make sure that, you know, we can get you the puck. That way you're not like you get the puck on your stick for maybe like a second before somebody shows up and snatches it and takes it away. At Alpha, it's more like, no, hey, we want you to get the puck. We want you to skate down the ice and, you know, go try and score a goal. We want to have those experiences that you would not normally get in a league that's just, you know, everybody wants to go out and win. And it's just like, it's so boring after a little bit. But that's why playing at Alpha is absolutely amazing, because we, even though we're on opposite teams, when we do have somebody who maybe just barely learned how to skate, who maybe still can't even skate, but when they score their first goal, like we had a player who literally, I think it was like the second to last game, she scored her first goal ever, and the entire like both benches like started screaming for this girl. She got tackled by her whole team. Half of the other team dogpiled on her too. It was this absolutely amazing thing to just watch everybody come together for this one player, for just that one big moment in her like her hockey career where she actually scored her first like unassisted goal. So it's just like it's stuff like that. That's what makes it all freaking worth it. And you're just like, oh.
Yeah, that's so cool. That really is. That's awesome. That's what it should be about too. Just celebrating everyone's little wins, I suppose, out on the ice. Absolutely. I might have this incorrect, but are you still the vice president of Alpha?
Oh no. I was actually voted in as president about 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
Maybe three.
So you're the president now.
Yep, that's a recent thing that just happened. So that's another thing.
Well, there you go. Yeah, fresh news here on the podcast. I was going to ask you, was it something that you wanted to do, or were you roped into it? Because when I spoke to Nano, it was a lot of roping into things. were you the same at Alpha?
I won't say I got roped into being vice president, but it's something that I actually wanted to do, because it's just like, well, I want to help grow the game of hockey. And what better way to do that than to get into some kind of like a position where I actually have some kind of influence to do that. And like with APLHA, I'm going to have some very, very big shoes to fill, especially with like, I'm not still going to be hanging around, but I still have to like, fill those shoes and keep growing the game of hockey and getting, more and more people to come out and, watch us play. But no, it's something I definitely did want to do. So as much as everybody would like to say I got voluntold, I didn't. It was like I was sitting there, I was talking with Nano, and I'm like, hey, I think I'm gonna go do this. It'll be good for me. And he's just like, okay, I'll help. That was the conversation. I'm like, all right, cool, let's go do this. I sent Matt a text message. I'm like, hey, I'm in, let's go.
Yeah, that's sick. I think just your vibe. I think your vibe is something that you'd suit the role well. I think just from your vibe.
Oh, thank you.
What is something that obviously you were before president, you were vice president, part of I suppose that committee. What is something that stood out to you from being in that role, seeing people come in into APLHA and being involved in APLHA? Is there one thing that stands out to you from people that you could be new people or people who played hockey before and have come back after a long time, people starting late in life like us? Is there anything that stood out to you from your time being involved in, I suppose, the committee side of things?
Man, how quickly everybody gets addicted to hockey. It is legitimately amazing to watch somebody come in, they skate like once or twice, and they're just like, hey, you got more ice time? We just gonna do it on Saturdays? No? Can we get some more? Can we get a little bit more ice time, a little bit more coaching? It is legitimately amazing. It was something that like really kind of didn't occur to me because I play all over the place, and I'm just like, oh yeah, we should probably get more ice time, huh? which worked out great for us because we had a basically be a players only meeting, and it was just like, hey, what would you guys like to see, like, so we can actually help grow the game of hockey? And everybody was just like, well, can we play more? Can we play over the summer? Because APLHA usually just runs during the winter, and then since we only have so many adult leagues in there, like in Phoenix specifically, and a lot of them get full, most of our players can't like go and hop on another team. Some can, but then like the vast majority, it's like they can only really do like, pickup games and such things like that. It's all right. We have so many adult leagues here, but most of our spots are like they're full, either at the beginner level or like at the level just above us. Like they get full very, very quickly. So we have people who, they play in APLHA and they're just like, hey, I want to go and play some more, but then all the teams are full. And then over the summer, there's really only like pickup sports that you can do, but you're not on like an actual team. So this summer, we actually got to have a hockey summer club, which was great because it got more of our players ice time, but, still want more ice time because I need it.
Yeah, yeah, it's so true because even like in our team, people are always putting in there like, oh, is there a scrim? Is there a scrim coming up this week, or is there a stick and puck? Is there time that everyone's looking for that ice time? So yeah, I totally understand that. What's the you've obviously traveled to different states in the US. You've traveled to Sydney as well for the World Pride. You've done all sorts of things. Is there one thing? What's the proudest moment that you've had within queer hockey?
That's a good one.
It's the one question I ask all my guests.
I mean, honestly, it was probably playing in that Seattle tournament. Because this year they changed like their player of the game one, so it wasn't voted on by like your teammates; it was voted on by the other team. So and then like the last game that we played, where I apparently played against Cade and Vargas, their team, I got that from their team, and I was just like, oh, I totally wasn't expecting that. That was probably one of my not really good games because like before I left, I'd gotten my skate sharpened, so I couldn't stop, I couldn't turn. And it took like half of the game for me to actually get my legs underneath me. So I was like, this is going to be a subpar performance, kids. And I'm sorry about that. But yeah, they still were just like, you were doing amazing. And they gave me that stick. And I'm like, oh. So just to like, like be acknowledged by like other people, even when you think you're doing absolutely just garbage, and somebody else is like, "No, you did amazing. Here, you're cool," and they give you this. I was just like, "Oh," so that was definitely something proud. And then, like during that same tournament, like my parents came and watched me play, or came to watch me play. So like the fact that they realized like how important hockey is to me, and they were just like, "Oh, we'll totally be there," and then just them being there, that's just a totally different experience. Like you're not expecting somebody to show up, and then all of a sudden, you look up and there's just three people. Like there's, three people up in the stands looking at you and going, "Hi," just waving insanely at you. You're just like, "Oh."
Yeah,
so yeah,
that's
those
really
moments
special.
I'm really proud of.
Yeah, that's really, really special. Really special. Is there anything happening with APLHA on the horizon? Anything you want to plug? Anything that's coming up with APLHA? All that sort of stuff.
Shamelessly plugging. Yes, registration for us opens up in August 1st. So there's anybody in Arizona who wants to play hockey with us, please, please, please register. We're super nice. I swear, it's so much fun. It is a totally different experience from like anything that you've probably played in like other leagues. Just because of like how close we end up getting. So we are literally there just to have a good time. If you haven't played in a while, we will take you. If you are looking for a new hockey home, we will also take you. I give really great hugs. So just, come introduce yourself. You'll absolutely love it. Like I was saying, our summer league did absolutely amazing. We had some people who hadn't played before, or they'd heard about us like through the grapevine, and they were like, "Hey, can I, come in, maybe play a couple of games?" And I just barely finished up the survey results for it. Everybody was like, "This was an amazing experience." Like playing the music, just having rotating lines. That way, we had more advanced players like playing against each other, and the intermediates and the beginners just playing against each other. We want people to come out. We want people to have a good time, and that's literally what APLHA is all about. It's about building and growing the game of hockey, and you can't do that when you scare everybody away, either because they don't get to handle the puck or they don't feel like they're going to get to actually touch the puck. So it's just, no, come in. We'll have beginner clinics. That way you get the experience of, learning how to play hockey. That way you get that ice time that you want. That way you can continue to grow as a player, because that's what we want. I love getting the text messages from other players on other teams going like, "Hey, I think this player plays for APLHA and they like scored a goal. They did something amazing last night." Like I got one this morning from one of my other buddies who plays on a team opposite from me. He's like, "Hey, so and so, so and so, and so and so all scored goals last night," and it just, to get something, to wake up to something like that, it made my day, and I was just like, "Oh." It makes me happy. Those little things.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's what you mentioned before about, if it's just, even if it's just one person, and obviously it's making a difference to more than one person. But I'll get some links off you, and I'll chuck them in the show notes as well. So if people are watching on the YouTube and the podcast, they can hit the link for registration or anything to do with APLHA. I'll get you to shoot me through some links in the email. I know that you don't overheat, and you run on hot energy, hot body energy, or whatever you want to call it. Your body runs hot, so I'm not going to say go and keep cool in this Arizona heat. But what's on the horizon for Mel Jones?
Oh, this will be my first season as actual president, so we are gonna get this show on the road and try and just have a really, really good season. I'm actually looking forward to it. It looks like we're gonna have a couple of new people showing up. So we're just gonna get them all in, get them laced up, and just keep growing the game. Keep it simple,
Perfect.
man.
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely. Mel Jones, thank you so much for giving up your time to have a chat a little bit about your life, your hockey journey, a little bit about APLHA, your travels, and just having a laugh, and just talking about the sport that you love and we all love as well. And you're making it a better place for everyone, not just queer people, but everyone who might not feel comfortable playing somewhere. They can always go play at APLHA, which is absolutely amazing. So Mel, thank you so much for jumping on.
Oh, you are very, very welcome. Thank you for having me. I had a great time. Hope I lived up to nano standards. Hopefully I got that bar up there.
I'm sure you have.
Thank you.
Yes. Thanks so much for jumping on.
You're very welcome.
That was Mel Jones, episode 28 from Arizona Legacy Pride Hockey Association. An awesome chat and an awesome person. The vibes are off the charts. And I did get warned that before I hit record on this episode that it's going to be a fun one. And it was really, really cool. As I said at the start, you can find us on the socials at Pride Puck Podcast, Facebook, Instagram, and Threads. We are on YouTube as well. So jump over there and hit subscribe and give us some likes and some comments and help the algorithm so we can grow and hockey can grow and everyone can grow. And also on your favorite podcast platform. So Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, all that sort of stuff. That is episode 28. We will be back with episode 29 next month. Another awesome guest. But until then, I am Andrew McDougall. That was Mel Jones. And we'll talk to you next month. Ciao.